Good morning. I'm getting my technology together, so good morning to those as you come in. And let's see. I think we're up and running. Okay, I'm locked into this position today, I suppose. Okay, that was an experiment. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think my technology is with me today. Good to see you, Sarah. And I'm learning this technology, so thank you for your patience with me in learning this. I'm working from my cell phone so that I can be in motion um, during our time together, but I'm learning how to use that. So I will just jump right in this morning. Hopefully, others that see it in replay will feel that we are holding space for them. But good morning. Let me start by just saying, how are you? Use your feeling words. How are you feeling this morning? And you can just put those in the chat because we're learning how to communicate more clearly, more honestly, with ourselves first, but then with each other. And I have been up early doing stuff at my house and working on some of the things that I am passionate about. The Soul Safari that's coming up, that will be in Kenya in November. So I'm excited about that, teaching leaders these tools and how to incorporate that in the work that they're doing, the work that they're passionate about. But this morning, really, what has been on my mind, what's been swirling for me, comes from a message I got. Good morning, Kimberly. We're putting our feeling words. How are you feeling this morning? Drop that in the chat. Yesterday, I got an email message or a message somewhere within my social media um, from one of the ladies who's going to be coming to the July cohort of our Gangster Grannies Global. That is an initiative under our Women Heal Together initiatives this year that works specifically with older women and healing. And they'll be coming down. This will be the second part of our 2025 cohort. There'll be 3 ladies coming down in mid-July and being going to stay here for a month and do this work intensely. It's an intensive healing sabbatical. So they will go deeper diving than we will this month, but nonetheless, grateful, great emotion to be feeling this morning. But she sent me a message and it was a video. I see that there was an earthquake in Southern California. I grew up in Northern California, and so earthquakes is a part of just what was part of my norm. As a kid, I remember doing earthquake drills and getting under the desk. And this video, and I went and checked, and it's on NPR and several others, was of the elephants in the zoo. The elder elephants gathered around the younger elephants in they called it an alert circle, but it was a protective circle. And when I read it, I thought, that's interesting, because we're supposed to be able to learn from nature. Hopeful, awesome. And I said, let me go see what they're talking about. One, let me check and see if it's true, because it's the internet, and they just put stuff out there sometimes, and you don't know if it's AI or real or not. And I went and pulled up the video, and I thought NPR is a pretty trusted source, perhaps for information, at least this kind. And I saw these elephants. The earthquake began, and the elder elephants, one of the articles I think said it was the women elders, but these elder elephants created a circle, corralled the younger ones, and they stood facing outwards. They're watching and they're in alert. And I thought, man, isn't that a lesson for me, my work? How do we fix community? The Gangster Grannies Global, if we get our elder women healing, our communities need that backbone, Not that we can't do it without that, not that we're not going to do it with whoever's ready to move into this new paradigm. But I thought, confirmation. What if the elders in our community, spiritual elders, not only in age, but that too, old enough to have lived some things, some experiences. Sometimes we pick up what not to do, even if we don't know what to do. But this group of elder elephants coming together in circle to protect those who were younger, more vulnerable, perhaps even less healed, if we're talking about applying this to real life. And that excited me. Good morning. I think it's Leticia, the wisdom of connection. That excited me because what are we doing here? What are we doing? We are circling up so that we can stand. In peacetime's great, healing works, but you see it so much more pronounced, I think, in crisis, where you need to have that strong ring of outer protection. And what better as we move into this paradigm to have that be those who are healing, those who are taking time. This work is called sustainable value-based transformation. If you check your values and they aren't sustainable, consider picking up some new values. Step 2 talks about that. I couldn't wait to come tell you guys and share this connection because life is the real curriculum. But to realize that as we're healing, we are becoming better capable of being that outer ring of elephants. And I thought, but this isn't about judgment. This isn't about guilt, but it is about being honest. And I thought this morning, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share about these elephants. You can Google it and go look it up. But I'm going to share about these elephants coming together, forming a circle and being able to stand firm. Because the real question, if you're on this committed to healing lifestyle journey, is today, because it may change tomorrow. Am I the elephants on the inside of the circle or the elephants on the outside? Because when we're talking about healthy community, there's a give and take. It's about creating community that feels safe enough for you to take. In the case of us coming together, take the energy of us holding space to be able to support our own collective healings together. But if you're only in the inside circle and you never see yourself being on that outside circle too, are you a sustainable part of community? And that's what this work is about. And because music is so connected to my life, I thought, where does this take me? Can I take this feeling that I've got, really, the response that I get from seeing this video and thinking that swirls? And the song came to me. I went to YouTube and I put the link up in the chat. It's one of the top links there. But it was Cynthia Erivo singing Stand Up. And the video that I happened upon when trying to pull up this song has parts of the movie that this soundtrack is a part of, Harriet. And I thought, you know what, the universe, these random pieces that come to my life, just the randomness of life, the randomness of Weta sending me this video and it sparking something in me that made me think. I've been thinking about it since yesterday when I got the email and I looked at the video. My center is called the International Welcome Center, but the website is globalundergroundrailroad.com, because really this work is about freedom. If you had time to think about what your purpose and your passion is, could you get up tomorrow and go live that existence? And I would put a quarter wager that if your answer is no, the answer, the reason why the answer would be no, would be fear, insecurity, or guilt. But I don't have the money. Your fear about not having the money might be the bigger problem. Your insecurity about feeling that you're living in lack might be the problem. But this is about freedom, that what would happen if we addressed the fears first. Good morning, Amina. What would happen if we addressed the insecurities first? What would happen if we addressed the feelings of guilt for being true to ourselves, being true to our passions, and being true to our purpose? We change the world. We change the world within, and our change within would radiate to every person we'd come in contact with. And so this morning, my real challenge is to circle up and stand firm. And if you got to be the elephant in the middle of the circle, be it. But be it with the mindset of the healthy give and take that community needs. As you strengthen, you become part of that outer ring, part of that outer circle that has the ability to stand on alert and protect those who may be less developed, younger in their spiritual healing journey, less strong in the face of tragedy that could be happening. For these elephants, it was an earthquake. What's the earthquake in our lives? What are the things in our life where we need for there to be a strong outer circle of protection so that we have the space to be in the middle, doing what we need to do, maturing, growing. And so this space is really reflective of that experience that I had watching this video with these elephants circling up in the earthquake. The very ground underneath their feet was trembling. And they said, we need to protect our young. This space is intended to be that kind of safe space where we circle up virtually from all over the place. I think one morning you guys put where you were located, but to be able to say, we're going to stand firm in a time of adversity, but where do you practice? The easiest way to do this hard thing of preparing is to do it before the crisis hits. And that's what we're talking about in community. And so I applaud you for making the commitment to yourself. But in doing that and strengthening yourself, it gives us that circle of strength. And what a better circle to have than healed people, healed elders. But I think for us in the physical, the human form, it's talking about spiritual elders. Maybe you're not 70, but you've been doing this work and you don't have as many years to clear out. You don't have as many addicts in your mind and baggage that you're carrying around. I got something in my eye, so I'm rubbing my eye to try to see if I can get it out. But that's what this work is about. The first person that gets the rewards is you, but everybody else gets the rewards afterwards, because everyone you come in contact with in your healing journey, where you're getting better and better, benefits. If nothing else, you're not casting garbage out their way, poison out their way. So that's what's motivating me this morning. Those elephants are giving me some life, circling up, standing firm, on alert, in a stance of protection. That's what this work is about. You all strengthening your healing journey, because that gives you greater capacity for things in life that aren't the happy, joy parts. And that's real. All right, let me just go through overview some of the steps. Let me back up and let's go through and recap step one, telling the facts. We give it a title, because sometimes you can't do it all. And you need to be able to come back to this experience that you're working on healing. Give it a title, 6 words or less, challenge yourself. What is this incident really about? And then the facts, tell the facts. It's past tense. I and you did some things. Let's give the narrative, but let's do facts. Check yourself. Are you putting in fluff and explanations? That's what the gangster grannies called it, fluff. It ain't really true, but it's the stuff we say because we're trying to justify stuff in our mind. And your feelings. If you haven't pulled up a feeling wheel, if you haven't pulled up a feeling word list, do that. Challenge yourself. We're trying to build our vocabulary, build our capacity to communicate clearly. We want to avoid misunderstandings and confusions. Part of that comes from our responsibility. If I communicate clearly, I can't deal with comprehension on the other side, but I can do my part to communicate clearly. Should we join the YouTube? Oh, this is something that happens. I don't know how to fix it, but you need to refresh your page. If you're in the waiting room and you're seeing the chat but not seeing the video, something happens if you're in the waiting room where it doesn't sometimes automatically click you into the live. I don't know how to fix that. If somebody could help us, let us know, because I think this happened yesterday and the day before also. If you're get there on time and early and it puts you in that waiting, that it punishes you by not actually dumping you into the live. So it may be, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. So if somebody can help us, help us. So facts, step one, facts. Don't forget your emotions. Those are facts. Don't overlook them. That's one of the things that happens when we're in crisis. We don't stop and process what's happening. So we have information that's really relevant to then gauge this situation. We're now in the fact-finding part. We're going to your past. We're finding things that cause you some distress or some dis-ease, and we're unpacking it so that we can analyze it from a clear, sober-mindedness. Then we move on to step two. Once you've sat with those emotions, you've really looked at the facts of this to make sure that you've gotten in all the information. It's whatever you can think of, whatever you feel is relevant, but sometimes not deciding what's relevant and just putting in the facts that you remember as you remember them is the goal. Then once you do that, don't forget your Sankofa circle. Don't forget finding your healing support network. And so we are joining the YouTube. I don't know what that means other than maybe they're not in the room. Mare, Ohio. And I've been thinking, I don't know if that's Marie, Ohio, but Mare, Ohio. I hope you're in. I hope you've gotten in. I don't know how to fix that if you're in the waiting room before it starts and it doesn't dump you in, but hopefully you'll refresh and come on in and know that we're here. Know that we're here at 6 o'clock. I'm going to make a commitment to be here unless there's some technical thing that I can't work out. We're going to be here. So if it's 6 o'clock and you got the live up and it's telling you, that it's in hold mode, refresh or go straight to my page. I am Lorana. Go straight to that page and you should be able to see the live video with the red thing and go in there. So know that I'll be here. I'll try to be in a minute or two early because I'll be getting myself together, my technology together. We're in the other meeting rooms, Google Meets. I'm sorry. Come to use. So there's a problem in the calendar. I must have a link to Google Meets in the calendar. It will never be Google Links unless it's something outside of our morning time. We may do some gatherings outside of our normal time, and those will be Google Meet versus YouTube. But our morning times will always be in YouTube. Thank you guys for letting me know of those problems so that we can clear up any misunderstandings. That's probably something I'll do. I'll look at the calendar and make sure that it always says YouTube. It may automatically do a Google Meet link. So sorry about that. If you're coming in midway, you don't have to be here live with us. You can go back to the beginning if you want to and go through it, and you'll just kind of catch up in the thread and go through, our time frame. So if you want to start from the beginning, just scroll your time bar back to the beginning. So step one, don't forget the healing circle part. Find you a healing support person. In your worksheets, there's a space for you to check off. I see grateful, feeling grateful. Thank you guys for getting here. Thank you for being persistent. Don't miss that step if at all possible. Who is your healing support person? Who are you doing this reading interface with? The end of chapter 17 gives you that section on your Sankofa circle. That's an important part of reintegrating this work into community. Okay? Real important part. Step two. What do you feel? You check your feelings. We always do that. See if anything else is coming up because some stuff could bubble up in the meantime, in your reflection time, the in-between times of life. What are the values? What values are associated? What are the shoulds of the situation, or what are the dids of the situation? What did you do? What did they do? What should have been done? What should have been done by you and by them? Your expectations, your values. They may be, you should have spoken to me with respect. You should not have yelled at me. People shouldn't yell at other people. Or whatever the shoulds are, but you also want to capture the values. I should be able to speak to people any way I want to, if that's what actually happened. And so you want both the values you agree with and the other values. I'll see if I can find that video of the Elephants. If I forget and can't do all that at one time, Google elephants, South Carolina earthquake, and circle or something like that. They were elephants at the zoo in the Southern California. I think maybe San Diego had an earthquake, 5 point something, a pretty significant little shake. And the elephants were there. NPR has a video up, so Google it. Because if I start trying to find video links and all that kind of stuff, y'all be gone, because my technology knowledge is not all that great, and multitasking it is not my lane. So Google it. That's what I suggest. Google it. If not, this whole gathering may be in jeopardy. So step 2, values. Put that in one section of your worksheet. But then you also want to look at losses, and you want to look at responses. What did I do? What did I do? After this situation happened, what did I do? I went home and I cried. I got silent. I defended myself. I wrote an email. I put a post up on social media and told them all about themselves in social media. What did I do? There's no judgment. Information. Step 3, we look at those losses. We sit with those losses. We take that emotion list and we go through that list and see what else is here. I'm a farmer. Let me give y'all some farm wisdom. You didn't ask for it this morning, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, because here we are. And that's what I got to give you. With farmers, if you're taking weeds out, you watch your ground for productivity. And those weeds will starve your nutrients, starve your roots out before your plants can get grown. As you go to remove those weeds, if you leave any of those roots in there, those weeds will come back. Not only that, they'll come back stronger. Like, oh, you tried to get me? You left a little bit? I'm coming back with a vengeance. And they'll come back stronger. Put some poison on them, they'll come back stronger. Got an issue right now with agriculture because the poisons that we put to kill the weeds are outsmarting it. And the weeds have gotten so strong, now we got super weeds. So now your poison got to get stronger if you're not using natural practices. But if there's any of that root left in there and you leave it in there, ain't no problem. Sometimes you can't get to it all, can't get to all the layers, but it's going to come up somewhere else in life. Just be mindful. While this thing is up and you're dealing with it, get as much of it out as you can. Some stuff you can't get to because you got other layers you got to get to first before you unearth that. But if it's there on the surface, take that list and go through and see what else is there. I'm feeling this and this and this and this, because you're trying to get to know yourself. Trying to get to know yourself, what you're feeling, and you're trying to unweave that stuff, get it out. Here in the region I'm in, working with shamans and the ways that they talk about moving that stuck energy. It gets stuck in you in all kind of ways. One of the ways you release it is writing. Writing with a physical pen or pencil is part of releasing stuck energy. And so that too is a part of this process. And so we want you to do that with that intention so that you understand what's happening and what you're doing in the midst of that. So sit with that for step 3. Step 3 doesn't seem like a big step, but it's an important step in the process. And then let's talk about step 4 and step 5A, because I want to give you some insight. At the top of this list, I also put the link to some of the video shorts that go step by step. That very first link that's pinned in the chat takes you through one step at a time. It takes you through just 3 to 5 minutes, not long. I tried to keep it real brief. One of the individuals that's been participating in the challenge, Jackie Moser, I'm so appreciative. She got her book early and decided that she was going to she would cooperate and let me explain some of the questions that she had just in going through some of the steps, because she got her book and started immediately. And so step 3 is that sitting process. Take as much time as you need. This is not rushed. We are not on a performance schedule where you have to rush that. So that's the first step. Give me just a second, because I think my internet's going to switch to my cellular provider and I don't want to lose anyone. It's on silent mode, Sarah. I don't know if I was frozen or not while I was talking, and I have no way of knowing except to go back and watch the feed. So it might have been frozen while I was finishing up the talk. I was just going over some of the steps 1 through 5, but there's a link to the playlist of those video shorts that go through the steps. So if I was frozen, people won't miss the content. Go to the link at the very top, and then we'll go into silent mode. But I'll be here. If there's questions that you have as you're doing one of the steps, just put it in the chat. Today I started it sideways and the chat isn't up. I think it just pops up as people do things. So I'll try to be very mindful to see if there's comments in the chat where individuals have questions about any of the steps. So this is the technology. Yeah, not in my lane. I'm doing my best. This is what it looks like today. So that link is to the playlist that has those video shorts that go by specific steps. So if you need help, that's also a backup. But I'll be here to answer and be here to hold space for you. For anyone else that comes in, we'll be here to hold space. If there was technical difficulties like there might have been, my bad. So thank you for being here today. And because I started sideways, I can't put my pretty pictures up. So you guys gonna see whatever you're gonna see. I'll be in physical therapy. So you guys gonna get whatever you get. It'll be the real life version. I can't block it out with the pretty pictures today because I don't know how. So thank you for your patience with my technology challenges story. Welcome to those that have come in. We in silent co-working time. Thank you for joining us and doing the work. And for those coming in after the start, be sure and drop your feeling words. How are you feeling today in the chat? You're welcome, Mayor Ohio. Tired. Sounds honest to me, Amina. Acknowledging it. If anyone's coming in late, we're in just quiet co-working time. If there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat at any time. For anyone that's come in since we started, this is the quiet co-working part of our morning time together. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Feel free to drop in the chat what you're feeling today using your emotion words. And thank you for being here with us, for holding space for you. Okay, so Sarah, fluff. Great question. Uh, Notice the trouble you're having. That's the advice. Notice when you are adding analysis, suspecting what other people are thinking. Uh, did it actually happen? What actually happened? Because oftentimes those moments are a few things. One strategy, do it in bullet points. I did, you did. I did this, and then you did this. And so work hard. Notice the fluff, though. That's the real important part. Notice the fluff. Did that help? The other part, Sarah, is noticing how often we veer away from just the facts of things and we start analyzing it before we have all of the facts on the table. So pay real close attention to the fluff and then take it out. If you have to put a line through it, do that. Did it actually happen? Glad that helped. Stick to the facts, just the facts. And don't forget your feelings are facts. You're welcome, Sarah. Have a great day, Sarah. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thank you for joining us, Marie, Ohio. We're nearing the end of our time. It was a joy to be here with you and hold this space for you. I look forward to seeing you all in the morning. Have a great day. Continue the work. Honor the work that you're doing.